Assalamu alaikum. I'm Malik Haj, an injured warrior of the Midwest and a messenger of the covenant, representing the messenger of the covenant, the breaker of the seven seals, the self-taught one, Master Suleiman, who's given us the Injil, the gospel of revelations, with the Injil key that gives us the understanding of the unsealed scriptures. This is Up Late Update with Malik Haj. Today on July 31st, 2020. This is where we take current events and give the understanding of them through the unsealed scriptures from the Injil perspective and give the understanding of what you're seeing from the perspective of the scriptures that gives you the understanding of the time. So let us begin. It's a beautiful day, evening. We're going to start with our. Let's see what we're going to start at. Let's start with the weather again. Devastating as Kentucky braces for more flooding. Death toll rises to 28. Oh well. Don't worry about it. Can't get it. Alright, excuse me. Just having some technical difficulties. We everything's a go. As Kentucky braces for more flooding, death toll rises to 28. Devastating communities across eastern Kentucky began digging out in earnest Sunday as the state's death toll rises to 28, and in other rounds of storms threatens to expand the historic flooding. Dozens of people remain unaccounted for, and some areas remain inaccessible to search and rescue teams. Spotty cell phone service adds to the chaos. We are going to be finding bodies for weeks, Bashar said. Excessive runoff from showers and thunderstorms Sunday and Monday could result in additional flooding and rivers, creeks, and streams across much of the central and eastern Kentucky. The National Weather Service warned rainfall rates of 14 rates up to 2 inches and because up to 2 inches an hour could spark flash flooding, especially in areas that see repeat rounds of thunderstorms. So the flooding continues. The heavy rains are expected to continue in Kentucky over the weekend, and has Saturday, and they're expecting them to reside somewhere around Monday. However, they still have dozens of people missing. The body count is up to 28, and the governors came on and said it's unprecedented disaster is taking place. Many homes swept away. So they're expecting rains throughout the weekend, rest of the weekend, and into tomorrow, into Monday, to continue in these areas. Kentucky is still up under. When you got look at the area it is. One thing I can say, that low pressure thinking, that low pressure. We know that if you were in the area and you had was having any high thought pressure, your thought atmosphere was high, then that could pretty much be a save, could keep you from experiencing these torrential rains and floods. However, you can see where they're hitting. The area they're hitting, as always, is like a heat-seeking missile been sent out on them. A heat-seeking, a wet-seeking storm ready to flush them out for the years. That repercussion and consequence coming back and getting them, and it's hitting them hard. So just something to think on from the NGO perspective. They're being hit. It's consequence. You're gonna receive you unprecedented trouble till we get up out of here. You're gonna receive 466 years of torment and holocaust that you inflicted upon us. You're gonna receive all that compiled into 1 year through the weather, through war, through here it is, and due to knowing what's causing this weather, hey, this is me. I tell you to keep your head up, cause get prepared for the night. Hope buckle up for the night, cause the rains are falling. So you see what's taking place tomorrow. And let's move on to the next topic. Biden tested positive for COVID-19 for the second time. And the second day, he still tested again. They tested him again. Today, President Joe Biden tested positive for COVID-19 Saturday after, and he tested positive also today. After testing negative earlier this week in a rebound case that can occur in patients who are treated with Paxlovid. Biden's doctor said Biden has a resurgence of the symptoms, but he has returned to isolation as the CDC recommended people with rebound cases should do for additional 5 days. Paxlovid is an at-home intravenous therapy for those at high risk for severe illness from COVID-19. He was treated with it. Given his old age, he has been vaccinated and boosted against the virus. So, reiterating that President Biden has tested positive for the last couple of days in testing. They've isolated him. However, today he had a meeting. He still had a meeting via satellite with some ex-military service men that is fighting for on some military issues of insurance for military, so lower insurance. So they said he he doesn't have any new symptoms, but a runny nose. However, like we say, if you keep acquiring and it keeps popping up, you're gonna have to keep dealing with it. And he's not able to leave and take care of none of this. He can't continue on to his schedule. He's back in. He has another 5 days, which is 4 now. Well, till he's able to return into the public. So it's just showing you his age, and it's also like we keep saying, when a person keep being sick like this, and he's your commander in chief, and he can't be around anywhere. He's isolated. He's prone to the plague. He's prone to getting it. So you don't know going in day to day how is he going to fare with viruses or illnesses due to his age. You don't know how he's going to respond mentally, because his cognicity has been questioned several times. They think he has dementia, and sometimes they say, well, he might have a diaper on. He might wet himself. He might poo-poo on himself. That had been said. You're getting up in age. He can't hold his he can't hold everything until he get to the proper areas sometimes. So they have to pamper him up. And, they call him his children call him what's the word for him? Pervy. Not pervy, but well, they have a name they call him. However, the world is looking on, and they're looking on, and they're seeing him as weak. Any person that's constantly catching accepted to catching a disease, and mind can wander, or you don't know his cognicy to being able to be sharp and on point when he needs to be, and he's making decisions. They easily he's looked at as deteriorating president and a deteriorating old man, and he looks weak. So that's the persona that U.S. has taken on with their commander in chief. So we'll bring that in a roundabout as we come back, and as we speak on bringing everything to a as we close. So our next topic, we got a few topics today. I mean, it's a lot of reoccurring, but some of it is, you can't. The things that's out here that's really affecting what's taking place. I mean, what's going on out here. And this topic, I've looked into it, and I've just something. Let's get into it. New York declares state disaster emergency for monkeypox. New York Governor Katie, let's see her name. Hush. I don't want to. Katie Hushko, late Friday, declared New York rapidly spreading monkeypox outbreak a state disaster emergency as authorities race to distribute vaccines to curb the virus spread. The measures come as New York's monkeypox infection count approached nearly 1,400 cases, with most infections in New York City, which is the epicenter of the outbreak in the U.S. They evacuated the executive order specifically extends the pharmaceutical extends the pool of eight. Wait a minute. Pool of eligible individuals who can administrate monkeypox vaccines include EMS personnel, pharmacists, and midwives. It also allows physicians and certified nurses practitioners to issue non-patient specific standing orders for vaccines and require procedures to send specific data or vaccine data to the state health department. As of Wednesday, the U.S. currently has about 4,600 reported cases. So this monkeypox that New York is experiencing, and they have a state, as you see that this is the government has called it a state of emergency. They have 1,400 cases of this monkeypox. It's just looking from the angel perspective. I'm gonna look on it on the angel. It's just you have to be careful, and with this. I don't know exactly where this monkeypox or how this outbreak came about, and where it came from. I haven't checked um, it from the unsealed scriptures or the angel perspective, but however, um, it's something to look at, be mindful of, and keep yourself safe and stay out of these areas, because you have to be careful with how things are being transmitted, and knowing what's taking place, that this type of war is going to be used at this day and time, because from an intel perspective, these people are desperate. This country is desperate, and they're desperate to um, to they're desperate enough to try anything to keep to cause loss of life, or to keep control, or keep their rule. So you never know who's behind this type of um, disease or virus that is broken out. So I always look at things from the injured perspective, and this not seeing it, or not you know um, not having going into and seeing where it came from, is just from the perspective of being aware of the time that we're in, that like I said, that it's a war out here, and you have to be you have to have your mind keyed in on the possibilities, and making sure that you're keeping yourself safe and in the distance. But if you're partying and hand to hand, and smoking and drinking, and out in these places to where you're fist bumping and all out, it, these this is a just a past type of um, um, virus that can be used as a a weapon. So, and you have to keep your mind on what time it is and how desperate they are. So that's how I see it. So looking around, and this monkeypox is just a extreme, um, man, it's extremely painful. Um, Chicken pox infection with um, man, like looks like big shingles and on the skin, and it really damaging the skin, sores. Um, if you are in the know and you're doing your 5 pillars of Islam and you're living how you're supposed to be living in this day and time, then you're not out, you know, this could happen if they was living like Muslims, like in they had to do in the early parts of the pandemic or the plague, when they had to stay at home and, you know, keep away from each other, stay out them clubs, and the clubs were shut down and all the bars was everything. So it was, you know, will be harder to use this as a weapon. But this is, I see it as a weapon, and in these type of areas to where it's millions of people and they're moving. This can take off and this can be weaponized. That virus can be weaponized and be very deadly and contagious. So we've seen them use it on use that a version of that virus on the Native Americans. So believe me, it can be weaponized again. So be aware of that, brothers and sisters. Make sure you're keeping your distance. Make sure you're washing your hands. Make sure, you know, you keeping people from just walking up, touching on you. Still, you out in them clubs, it's gonna be on you. But that's, you know, you in them high traffic areas and eating and being touched, and these people eating, touching your food and bringing it out. You don't know if they got it. You put it in your. Then you got, you know, it's, you know, you just gotta know what time it is, and if you're not paying attention, then, you know, the situation can be bad for you. And that's on that topic. So let's move on to the next topic. Okay. Let me see. Alrighty. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi starts Asian trip without Taiwan listed on her itinerary. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi begins her trip to the Indo-Pacific region without a mention of stopping in Taiwan. Pelosi, she's leading the general delegation she's leading will visit Singapore, Malaysia, South Korea, and Japan with a focus on mutual security, economic prosperity, and democratic governance in the Indo-Pacific. In the Indo-Pacific region, A potential stop in Taiwan has risen as a tension point between Washington and Beijing. China has warned of consequence should the senator visit. It views Taiwan as part of its territory. While Taiwan sees itself as a sovereign country, the U.S. has long embraced a marquee middle ground that seeks to support Taiwan without infuriating Beijing. If she makes a stop in Taiwan, she would be the highest ranking elected U.S. official to visit there since their speaking. New Gerwich went in 1997. So Taiwan's been taking off her itinerary. President Xi and Biden spoke for 2 hours about this visit. Today, um, um, today, China carried out active military drills around in the Taiwan, and they made it clear that they may use military they may use their military in the event to shoot down Nancy Pelosi if she comes in the region, and if she thinks she's going to sneak in go to Taiwan. I mean, they've made it clear that they don't want her there, and if she comes, that she's playing with fire, and that Z shared with President Biden, you playing with fire that will you will get burned. So now they've put they've heightened the U.S. presence, military presence in the region, with expecting to secure the Nancy Pelosi and her party that is going on this tour of that region. So she's taking more people with her since things have gotten heated up, and they don't want to press or push. They don't want to really force the issue. So right now, she's not going. It's no reason to go and unless she wants to. They might shoot her out the sky though. Ain't no telling what they're gonna do. But to even have to consider a might be or maybe, is it worth it? Because they might shoot you out the sky, and then, you know, would it be worth it? So that's what's taking place in China. They're really upset. I mean, they're not playing. They're not playing with the U.S. about Taiwan. They, like they said, they have made it known that Taiwan is either going to comply with coming back peacefully into a union with part of China, or they're going to do it. They're going to be forced to do it. So, one way or another, China is that China saying that Taiwan belongs to them. So, we'll see. We will see. However, you can see that neither side is playing, and it's just it's something to keep your eye on. Keep your eye on, because it's getting hot over in Taiwan, and definitely if she was to touch down in that area, I wouldn't be surprised that she gets shot down. So that's that, and we're going to keep moving into our next topic. I gotta pick up the speed in the little lax. Can't be too lax. Gotta keep it up so we can get through. We gotta we have a few more topics today that are in rows. So, brutal Pacific Northwest heat wave suspected in 7 deaths. An unrelenting heat wave that may have led to at least 7 deaths way down on the Pacific Northwest on Sunday, as temperatures were expected to soar again into the triple digits. The National Weather Service issued a excessive heat warning for more than 10 million people across Washington, Oregon, Idaho, and Northern California on Sunday. Temperatures was forecast to reach the high as 103 degrees and surpass more than a dozen daily heat records in the region. Saturday tied a record with the consecutive days of temperature over 95 degrees for the Portland region. Weather Service Metropolitan Sean Wiggle said temperatures range from 15 to 22 degrees above normal according to the Weather Service. Daily heat wave become more frequent in 2021, and daily heat wave led to about 800 deaths in Oregon, Washington, and British Columbia during late June and early July because of a heat dome weather phenomenon that prompt record temperatures. When forecasting expect the heat to wane for the Pacific Northwest on Monday as storms bring cooler air, returning the area to more normal temperatures by Thursday or Wednesday. Dozens of cities and towns were from Washington to Oregon to Montana broke or far exceeded daily heat records over the weekend. On Friday, Masalo reached 102 degrees, breaking the daily heat record. In July 29th, Redding, California, hit a daily record high of 114 degrees, and Milford, Oregon, hit 114, shattering its 2009 daily record of 109, and falling 1 degree short of tying an all-time high for the city. Multiple consecutive days of triple-digit heat is typical for the region. Used to moderate summer temperatures, according to Byron Jackson, a meteorologist with the National Weather Service Weather Prediction Center. And there's also a massive fire burning in Oregon as well. That is, they say it's probably 1% contained, and it's threatening many homes, many businesses. They say it was sparked by lightning in the area, but the high winds are pushing it, are keeping it fueled, and it's burning severely fast with the other fires that are in California. But what they're showing is how the fire has decimated areas with excessive speeds because of the droughts, and it looks like it's snowing outside from all the soot and the ashes coming from the fire all over the so it's, the air is bad, and visibility is bad because of the ashes. I mean, the air quality is poor. They have over 1,400 firefighting and are expecting a lot more to come help fight the fire. However, one side of the country, well, I'm not even going to say that. You seeing fires. The country's on fire. The country's being hit with floods. The weather is, doing exactly what the angel said it will be doing. You know what's causing it is we've been looking at this, and it's been consistent, day after day after day after day. Biden claim or roll up in this climate change package. Well, he sends a lot of money to all areas, all the states, because of I guess expecting all this devastation to occur from these natural disasters. So we know what's causing it. From an angel perspective, we know that higher pressure seeks out the low pressure, and this low pressure is being, that's where the high pressure is seeking out and destroying it. So let us move on before we have to wrap it up. We're running out of time with the amount of information. So we're going to end this before we wrap it up with our overview. After after the S-300 fired at Israel jets, now Russia, Syria holds joint drills. Putin's message to Israel. Russia, Syria conduct joint drills. Syria hold joint drills. Messages. Putin message to false Israel. Moscow seeks to ban Jewish agency operations in Russia. False Israel confirms Russia S-300 fired at a IAF jet over Syria. Threat to false Israel and Russia's confrontation deal in Syria. On July 26, Syria's Air Force posted footage of conducting joint drills with key ally Russia. This is the third documented joint drill between the two countries since Russia invaded Ukraine early this year. So, they're expecting Russia dissatisfactory with false Israel and shut down this this Jewish agency, it's really because of what's taking place, and it is, you have to look at it from the false Israel inviting and trying to accept and get numbers of Russian people, or Russian people and Ukraine people to evacuate those cities and come and move into Jerusalem, making false Israel stronger and building up its numbers and its economy with the people out of their country. So anytime false Israel does a thing, they try to play like it's beneficial, it's for the Jews. No, it's always has its a hidden agenda to it. Satan always is being sneaky, and they think that don't nobody recognize what they're doing when they do this. But however, Putin ain't a dummy. He knows what's taking place, so they have stopped and eliminated. They're stopping what they call, forget the name they call it, but it's migration. It's a migrating thing. False Jews, migrating to false Israel. So, and that's my take. That's the take on it. No, it's not. And what it is false Israel is consistently trying to strike Damascus and things in Syria, and the Russia troops are there. So whatever you're doing, you don't know where Russia troops are when you're putting Russia troops at risk by by false Israel doing airstrikes. So now the S-300, which can only be shot by Russian troops, have taken shots at false Israel Air Force, trying to carry out strikes. So it's getting heated over there because Russia is tired of Russia is coming. It's doing now, carrying out joint military drills, and since they're shooting their agreement that they had, this de-escalation agreement that Russia and false Israel had, that Russia was going to stay out the way and wouldn't hamper false Israel from attacking and bombing Syria. Now Putin is basically is going to make a statement one way or another to false Israel. He's making a statement, and he's understanding what false Israel think they're doing, and how when you can see these things when people think they're so slick, you can't slick nobody. You're not smart. You think you are. You got your whole action can be seen, and False Israel, Satan, they're always up to no good. So um, that's that, because we're running out of time. I have to do an overview. And I wanted to speak about, oh, one more thing. The JCPOA, the countries that are the JCPOA, the P plus 5, P5 plus 1, or the P5 plus 1, America and the EU, all the countries that are supposed to get papers about the deal has received them. However, don't be surprised to see it's going to happen just as the angel shared. They saying that Iran is saying that they're not going to sign that they're not going to sign no deal that America can't for sure. America's saying they can't for sure what's going to take place. They can't get it through their political, or they can't get it through their government. So why would you sign something, and why would you get rid of your things? Just make sense out of this, when the next person can come and change anything, and nothing that America said or ever have said have they stood by anyway. Their history, and their history of deals and treaties. They have broken treaties. Now, they're not going to be able to get, Biden's not going to be, they're not going to be able to get this deal to go through the Senate, to make a long-term deal, because it will have to go through the Senate, and if it's going through the Senate, it's going to have to go through the government system, the House, the Senate, and it has to pass through all, both chambers to be admitted. So, and the coordinator of the JCPOA, what is it, Burroughs, Joseph Burroughs, said, yeah, he's from he's some part of false Israel. He has false Israel ties. However, he is stating that he's done what he can do, and it's up to the countries to sign or not sign. He don't see, any way, not another way to try to handle this diplomatically with the conditions that's needed. However, he's done the best he can do for the situation. So this is basically what he shared the last draft of trying to get this JCPOA signed. So I wanted to bring you that. I had to finish off with the JCPOA. Due to time, we have to make this quick. The weather is still pushing the heat in the west. In the Midwest, it's still hot. South is still burning hot. Several states in the country are still experiencing triple digits. Fires still running rapid. burning homes, property, and in the Midwest and throughout parts of the South, floods are raging, destroying homes and property, and destroying lives, taking lives, destroying families, destroying um, cities. And this is what the angels shared that will be taking place in this time. This is part of the destruction or the fall of America. Then you have Biden, the plague still constantly wearing on his 79-year-old body, and the plague is wearing on him because the plague was sent to kill the firstborn of Egypt. He's one of the firstborn of Egypt, and he had his hand in the pot, so to say, with dealing with the true seed of Abraham and pushing and afflicting us, helping and assisting of afflicting us in one way or another. So he can get it. It can keep hitting him, surgeon. It may take him out due to the dirt that's on his hands. Kentucky still being hit by the well, I spoke on the weather, and they're receiving. They got a stalled cell over them right now. This dude is still pouring rain on them now, and it's not due to leave out till tomorrow. So flooding continues there, and if you're going through there, and they say, brothers and sisters, be careful. You should be all right. Make sure you don't go to basically those areas to where it is. I didn't see nobody of color in the area. So, like I said, these rains, these torrential rains, and these clouds know who they go find that lower pressure and they come get you. So, the Middle East conflict. We're gonna wrap this up with the abomination of desolation. The war in the Middle East that will take place for Michael and his angels. This war will be the JCPOA will be the initiation to the war in the Middle East, or the war in heaven, between Michael and his angels, Master Fard Muhammad, Iran, and Syria. And they're going to be going to war with the House of Saudi Arabia. Britain and America, and false Israel, with 6 other Sunni nations that have made and laid a bed with the devil, with Satan, up under this Abraham Accord. So their accord is the true seed of Abraham. That's who's on their mind. That's the accord. They are coming against the Abrahamic covenant. That's their common enemy, and their agenda, their common agenda is to take out the Republic of Iran. So we're in the time of the abomination of desolation. The JCPOA will not be revived. We've been sharing that for the last 2 years, but now we're in the time that the finality of the JCPOA is coming to a close. And when this, you will know it because you will see um, you will see Michael and his angels attack and go to war with the dragon and his angels. It's um, it's going to happen. It's right. It's going to happen any day now as well. Any day, because the JCPOA is the spark to this war, and in the the week before last, because in the last 2 weeks it's been the talk and why America went into the Middle East, went back and traveled through the Middle East, the president, and re it re re um, from put new reinsuring the House aside that America is going to keep their interest in the Middle East. They're going to make sure that they have protect the House aside. They're not leaving the Middle East to be controlled or dictated by China or Russia. So they're not leaving the Middle East, and America is sitting in Syria, have a base in Syria, and they're not wanted in Syria. They haven't been invited to Syria by the Syrian president. They're occupants. They're occupying Syria territory, and they're pumping gas out of their territory illegally. They are bullying this nation. However, you see the alliance being made by Saudi Arabia, the dragon, the one that fuels Britain and America, keeping their gas low, while these Britain and Gog and Magog protects their fuel, their rule. They're the ones that's protecting, keeping them protected in that land to maintain them in the land in return to keeping Gog and Magog fuel. And they have made an alliance with the false Jews, with people against, with their open enemy, people they've been fighting for years, or they say they've been fighting them. However, their agenda is to keep the true seed of Abraham out of the land, out from returning to their land. However, this is the abomination of desolation. The House of Sodom is going to be taken down. American Britain is going to be kicked out of the Middle East. False Israel is going to be sieged and destroyed. Those 6 Sunni nations that have made a bed and made their bed and going to lay with them, and is taking false Jews for friends, is going to go down with them. And that's the abomination of desolation. That abomination of desolation is when it's going to be the shock of the hour. That shock of the hour is when the whole world is going to see, with all the BS removed, false Israel annihilated, the house of side taken out, with the Middle East in total Shia control, and those nations that made a bed with false Israel had received what they were supposed to receive as well, being tapped on or taken out. So when you see this, it's going to make the whole world know for sure that the black man and woman is the true seed of Abraham, and which is going to go immediately into which is going to cause the starting the immediate war of Armageddon, with America attacking Russia. So with that, that's our presentation for the day, and it's been good, and I'll see you tomorrow at the same time here on Update with Malik Hodge. I'll greet you in the greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum.